Hello and welcome back to another video here on the MotoGP 25 preview build. Now, once again, I just want to say a massive thank you to the guys over at Milestone for providing me with the opportunity to bring this gameplay to you guys. And of course, as I said in the previous video, it is a work in progress build, so that means it doesn't fully represent the final game and things can change, of course, because we're still nearly 2 months away from release. But today, as I said in the previous one, I'm just going to be doing some races. So I'm going to do a race in Moto3, a race in Moto2, and a race in MotoGP just to show you gameplay of all three classes. I'll go quiet again throughout the video just to show off the engine sounds, and I'm also taking some suggestions from the comments below. For example, someone wants to see Mandalika, so the first race you can do is there. Someone else wants to see helmet cam, so I'll be doing that at some point as well. So do be sure in the comments below to let me know anything that I don't cover in this video that you do want to see in the third and final video on the preview build that will come out afterwards. But without any further ado, let's get into the gameplay, and I'll see you down the track at Mandalika.
With the sighting lap safely negotiated, the lights will go out in a few seconds and the Indonesian Grand Prix will get underway.
So we've got Piqueras then on pole position seemingly, David Munoz alongside, and Max Aquiles actually in third position. So he's qualified very well for this one then. But we're starting 12th as Dennis Foggia. Waiting for the lights to go out here then at Mandalika. Lights out and away we go. I'll be quiet through the first couple of corners so you can hear the engine sounds. Well, the AI being their usual chaotic selves there. You saw Joe, I think it was Joe Kelso, on the inside, absolutely rammed me into an AI on the outside. So, to be honest, I was surprised there was no warning or anything popping up. In fact, it doesn't look like there's like any warnings popping up, even though I have got the MotoGP stewards on still. So I'm really not sure what's going on with that one. But the sounds don't seem to have changed in the Moto3 class yet. So maybe that's something that will change before release. Obviously, of course, like I said before, it is a preview build. So maybe it's only the MotoGP class that has updated sounds at the moment. And a lot of AI going wide there. Aquiles looks like he's crashed. I think he might have clipped the curb because a few of them look like they potentially clipped the curb into that turn 10. It must have been. I've just looked at turn 11. I really don't know which corner it was at Mandalika there. We found our way back up into 10. So we got beat up a bit at the start. We found our way back into a somewhat decent position. We're now behind Cormac Buchanan by the looks of it. And now we've got Joel Kelso right back up behind us. Obviously, he just already had contact with us at turn 1. We've got to try to miss warning for that. So yeah, it's definitely some sort of stewards going on. I'm not sure why there's not really been anything popping up the side for incidents or anything like that. Bertelli goes at the inside of Piqueras, that is in front of us, and we get passed by Marcus Uriarte, and Joel Kelso once again forces his way back up the inside of us. So Joel Kelso really getting his elbows out in this race so far. Well, what can we do then? Get in his slipstream. Try and use it on the main straight. So slipstream again, not seeming super powerful, although I suppose it was out of a fairly slowish corners. We weren't going at super high speed, but even still, didn't really gain a lot on the slipstream there. It does seem so far, though, if you look at the standing from the top left, it is 3 KTMs in the top 3. So it looks like potentially the OP Honda bug. Okay, that was bizarre. I'm going to use a rewind there. I think that was the same kind of thing that happened, yeah, to Brotto yesterday. So again, you got to watch out for those wheelies as you then change direction. You got to make sure the front wheels actually gone back in the correct direction. So I'll just split the throttle a little bit so I can actually get it switched through there. But sorry, as I was saying, the OP Honda bug from the previous game, which, if you don't know, basically the Honda bike for some reason was really fast a straight line on MotoGP 24, and it made the Honda AI, especially for Asato, really strong. And anyone that was on Honda basically would just blast past everybody and pull miles in front. So it does seem like, at least in this first race, that is potentially fixed. And I'm also using the same AI level that I was using in the previous video, so at 100% AI. I have just noticed, though, it looks like literally everyone down to No, never mind. I was going to say everyone down to 13th is out of the race, but I think it's just the graphics have cut off at 13th and it says Almanza and Quiles are out. So I'm just going to hop into helmet cam for a little bit as well now, because someone did ask for that in the comments below, and it's something I completely overlooked in the first video. I do apologise for that, but I know a lot of you guys do play in helmet cam. It is the preferred way to play for some. For me, I'm pretty bad in helmet cam, I'm not going to lie, so I do apologise for the riding beforehand, but hopefully I'll be able to keep it on the track roughly, and we should be all alright. Probably just do like maybe a sector or two. It does seem like the glass, everything's a bit more fuzzy through the glass, which probably isn't great because I can't imagine that's exactly how it is in real life through the screen. I mean, I imagine it's not 100% crystal clear as looking out at the screen, but it was quite distorted through here, so I don't know if that's potentially another issue with the preview build. But I'll tell you what, actually not losing too much touch to the guys in front, so that's it's good to see. We have got someone 0.07 behind, so they're probably going to try and pass us in a minute. Oh, there's a big crash there. Is that Adrian Fernandez? I think it is. Adrian Fernandez. Didn't quite see what happened to him there. I think he had contact with Foressato in front, and yeah, that was a nasty-looking crash. And I'll tell you what, we're actually gaining here on Foressato in first person, which I did not expect. So actually, I'll tell you what, I will do the full lap in first person. I'll actually be quiet for the rest of the lap as well, so that you can hear the onboard sounds, because they will be a bit different, of course. Although I don't think they've changed, it seems, in the Moto 3 class, at least at this point. Oh! Wow. That was... I know I said be quiet, but I was not expecting a rod to just appear there. So back to third person we go then. So we actually only lost one place from that, which I definitely expected to lose more. I thought I'd be more all over the place. I mean, again, I do apologise. The lines weren't great in first person, but I don't typically play in first person, so it does take me a little bit of time to adapt. We've just completed halfway distance of the race, because, again, I always feel like when you do a race at Mandalika, the number of laps is always really low. I guess it's because it's quite a long track, I suppose. The lap time, you can see it's 37. It's not anything crazy, especially in Moto 3, but I think the distance is actually quite high. It's quite a fast track, especially this section. It's absolutely, I mean, it must be absolutely terrifying, or very, very much enjoyable on a real bike, I suppose. Maybe in those first couple of races where the racing line was about like a metre wide, probably a bit scary, because you go off there, it's going to be a pretty big accident, but yeah, it's a really, really fast part of the circuit. Let's see then. Detweiler obviously managed to pass us on the previous lap. I'm actually surprised that I think it was Yuri Arte that was attacking me as well. Wasn't able to do it, although it is now Eddie O'Shea behind me, so maybe it was actually Eddie O'Shea. But if I could try and get my act together, we might be able to catch up to the back of these guys in front. You can see I've actually pretty heavily worn the tyres. It's obviously unproportionate, so yeah, we've completed basically half distance and then another lap. So it is going to probably be about half gone, but it does mean that we are going to be struggling with tyres, because these are the hardest compound that are available at the circuit, the mediums, for this specific track anyway. I actually did briefly try the softs. I actually started a race on the softs, but they overheated immediately, so I'm actually quite happy to see that, because in the MotoGP class it still seemed like you could only use the softs. However, it does seem to be different in the Moto 3 class, which is good. So I just thought I'd let you listen to the sounds again through that section. Got a little bit touch and go, we had a little bit of contact as I tried to sweep around the outside of Foressato, and it really put me on a bad line. Although, actually, we got very close to O'Shea there. I was going to say the hitboxes still seem to be a little bit off then, because you do find that in the MotoGP games sometimes that you kind of have contact when you really shouldn't have done, but we actually were able to lean quite a bit on O'Shea. But I tell you what, the lead AI have pulled away massively. You see, Darren Munoz done a 37 flat. I've done a 37.8, which... yeah, I suppose in normal circumstances I would probably be able to go quite a bit faster. Obviously, I've been messing around with different camera angles and stuff like that, and obviously get stuck in the battle. But we've got the opportunity here. If we have a good sort of last lap, we can maybe get Detweiler and Riccardo Rossi here. So that's basically my good section of the track done now. So I think, unfortunately, looks like we won't get Rossi. You've just got to make sure that Peroni doesn't sort of sneak up on me behind. We've got a run here on Riccardo, and I know they're not too great when it actually comes to changing directions through the penultimate turn into the last corner. So we actually might be able to mug Rossi here as we go through Again, the Termas, very much like Termas section. We've got the power nice early, trying up the high side. We might be able to get Riccardo Rossi to the line here. If I just try to get the switch back, pick up the power, I don't think I'm going to do it, unfortunately. Again, you do see a little bit stronger, but you can see on that last lap, I did do a much better lap time, so much closer to what the leaders were actually doing when I got a bit of clean air. Yeah, so 37.2, it's about the same pace as Joel Kelso there on that final lap. Obviously, having that clean air did help quite a bit, but there you go then. That is a race in the Moto3 class. Did see that AI did have some issues, but again, the AI are like one of the last things. The AI tuning is one of the final things it's done, because obviously when they've changed the physics, they have to kind of retune the AI to match it. So the next thing we're going to do now then is head into a race in the Moto2 category. So I'll see you down on the track for that one.
Countdown is on here at the Red Bull Ring. Just a few more moments and we'll see the start of the Austrian Grand Prix.
So we've got Mano Gonzalez then on pole position, alongside him Aaron Canet and Sergio Garcia bouncing back to form in third position. But here we are once again down in 12th as Jake Dixon. Wait for the lights to go out, lights out, and away we go once again. We'll be quiet in the first couple of corners. So we've had a really, really good start. So it seems like AI are a little bit slow off the line in the Moto2 class, because we managed to find our way all the way up into third place, and we're about to take second. Well, we've actually not managed to do that. We've actually been out braking, but oh, sorry, Garcia. We've just absolutely punted Garcia. You can see once again, though, the investigation seems to be working again now. So I think that must have been a bug in the previous race that they weren't working, because I haven't changed any settings between this race and the previous one. So the AI difficulty are the same. And you can see right away that obviously they are either weaker in the Moto2 class or weaker at the Red Bull Ring, because we are way, way faster. Immediately thing I noticed though with the Moto2 bikes is that they have so much grip. The grip is unbelievable. I mean, you can see I'm barely sliding. We have no traction control on these bikes, bear in mind. We have Power Mode 3, whereas in Moto 3 I was getting a few moments and a few slides with Power Mode 3, and we actually had traction control on that bike, whereas this bike, obviously no traction control. Literally the only electronic aid we have is the engine braking system, really, and of course the power mode. And the bike just hooks up so well out the corners, like doesn't slide at all, which in previous games you used real electronics, which is what I'm using now. You had like barely any traction in the Moto2 class because obviously no traction control. But it definitely seems like the grip does seem a little bit too high for me. I didn't notice it in the MotoGP class in the previous video, and I didn't really notice it in Moto3 then, but definitely in this class it does seem like the grip is pretty high. But we just rode past Alonso Lopez, so he did not have a good run through the chicane at all. Can we try and get the run on Sergio out of here? Sergio, yeah, again, does seem like AI does not pick up the power out of there, which is a little bit weird. Obviously, it is quite a basic track, so for the AI to go slower, because obviously we're on 100% instead of 120, they are going to probably have to go a little bit slower, like a little bit less on the throttle, I suppose, but that still seemed a bit excessive to me. But either way, we are now up into second position, top Bosco Scura in the race, because we were just battling away there with Lopez and Garcia. Does seem like Moreira has also found his way past Alonso Lopez up into P4. And obviously, as you'll see, a lot of the AI performances, of course, are based on that first round at Thailand, because we've got Mano Gonzalez here just disappearing into the distance. We're going to have to try to take it to him. And I think this is another perfect time to go quiet and let you hear some engine sounds, although again, they do sound pretty much the same as last year. It does seem like perhaps the lower categories haven't been updated yet. Just seems to be the MotoGP class in this build. Oh, hang on. Garcia's coming back at us here. I didn't expect to see that. Thought we'd sort of dropped him because we were closing so much up to Gonzalez. But no, Garcia has actually sort of gained a bit of momentum back, and he just slipstreamed past me, so fair enough then. Kind of the opposite to the previous lap, where we just outclassed him out of that previous corner. But it does seem like we perhaps have got a race on our hands then, which is always good to see. May try helmet cam again in a moment, but I think we'll just let the race settle a little bit before I do that. But I tell you what, Garcia is a man on a mission. He's gone past Manu Gonzalez now, so forget Gonzalez running away with it. It's turned into the beginning of last year. Well, these two are really starting to pull on me now. You see Garcia's fastest lap, 32.1. We've obviously only done a 32.7. That was previously the fastest lap of the race. So it does seem that they have sort of got into it now for the first couple of laps. You can see, actually I thought I was being close on there by Morera, but not particularly. The gap is staying somewhat constant, although that was pretty poor, and to be honest I was lucky to stay on there. Yeah, I've just hemorrhaged so much time there to those guys, but it looks like Gonzalez might be going back for that lead into turn 1. Gonna try helmet cam again now though, and I've missed the apex immediately as I was changing down. Not changing down, changing into that camera angle. Again, we seem to have the same sort of smear Vaseline kind of effect on the glass, so I suspect that's a problem. And again, we've been caught off guard by a rider trying to pass us there. And we've been passed by, who's that? Like Yuki Cooney and Joe Roberts. So yeah, the race has gone from what looked like probably quite an easy win to not so good at all. We've been bashed out. I think that's Celestino. No, it's not Vietti. It's Lopez coming back through. So it does seem like we've got into first person. We've definitely been mugged a lot more this time than we did previously. Oh, and I think there's Arbolino on my outside as well. I've just seen, although I've completely overcooked it into the gravel, Oh, this is not going well at all. Well, yeah, okay. I have just rejoined in front of Canet there. I think that that didn't go too well, did it, in in first person this time. So we're going to swap back to third person now, because you got a few corners of it in first person, I suppose. And we'll try and make our way back through. Obviously, I ran through the gravel there, so you missed my braking point completely in the first person camera. And I tried to look over my shoulder to rejoin the track, and he looked over the wrong shoulder, and okay, the bike did loosen up a little bit there, but I think that was more the front. And Zonz has now made his way out the inside of us, so we've gone from fastest guy on track to, yeah, we are just being sort of destroyed a little bit here, so that's a shame, because we were in a really good spot battling for that win. It does seem like pretty much every AI has got plenty of time over me now, and it actually does seem like now the tyres start to go off that that it does feel a little bit more like the previous game. So the fresh tyre has a ridiculous amount of grip, maybe, yeah, definitely too much, I think, but now that I'm actually settling into it a little bit, you can see the AI is sliding in front as well. So when the tyre starts to go off, it does seem like it kind of behaves again a bit like the previous game, a bit more. So one thing I am a little bit disappointed by is the fact that the fuel consumption still seems to be the same as the previous game. That you can just go in the highest power map the entire race, no consequences at all because you don't run out of fuel anymore. I really don't know why they changed that in MotoGP 24, and it does seem to be the same in 25. You can see I've got 0.6 of a lap fuel in reserve, and I've been in the high power mode the entire race. Same in the Moto3 race, I was in the high power mode the entire race there too, and there was absolutely no qualms at all about the fuel. I'll tell you what, looking around at this track though, it does seem like the Red Bull Ring has changed. I did get told that the Red Bull Ring had been updated. It does seem a little bit more realistic, especially that last sector, and that curb on the outside looks a bit more like what they've been using the last couple of years in the track limits. But it does seem like literally all the AI are gapping me now. So AI in Moto2 seem to start off super slow and then just find another gear out of nowhere. Although I must say the bike is becoming a bit more of a handful now the tyres are going off. I wonder if the AI were using the lower power modes on the opening couple of laps, and that's why, probably why I was gaining on them so much out the corner, and then now they've upped to power mode 3, and the actual pace seems to be kicking in, and obviously now that I'm at the back and obviously struggling with my tyres a little bit, it's affected me quite bad, so that's a shame, because I guess we're not really going to see any of the AI for the rest of the race now, because they are just slowly slipping away. You can see my times as well as slipping away, with 7/10 off my personal best lap on that one. So there's a sorry end to our race in Moto2 here. It's not like in Moto3 where we're making a bit of a comeback. You see Jake not very happy with that one. So yeah, the Moto2 physics there were a little bit hard to read, a little bit strange. Immediately, the bike just felt like it had infinite grip. But as the tyres went off, definitely the front end was definitely suffering a bit more. The rear was sliding a bit, but I just felt like I had like no confidence once the race went on. I'm not exactly too sure why that was happening, but there you go then. That is a race in the Moto2 class, not as good as our result in Moto3. So we'll now head on to MotoGP once again. And this time, I'm going to do a flag to flag. So that'll be interesting. Force weather transition. Let's see how we get on with that one.
This circuit has unique characteristics, and Marc Marquez has shown he knows how to adapt to them better than anyone else. He's in pole position in the race that will start in a few moments.
So no surprise, Marquez on pole then, Fabio Quartararo in second, which is a bit of a surprise, and Bagnaia in third place, waiting for the lights to go here. Then at Misano, holding for a while, lights out, and away we go. Once again, we'll just be quiet into the first couple of corners so you can hear the engines. It took like every bone in my body to not burst out laughing at that crash at the first corner. And there's another massive accident there. Alex Marquez has gone down in the middle of the pack. So another very, very strange one there. They've got a good run on our teammate Luca Marini to the outside. Was that Morbidelli just come flying across the bottom of my screen? I completely missed my braking point because of that. I was looking back at Morbidelli because I saw, okay, and there's another rider down. So there's a lot of crashes so far in this race. It's not going too well. Specifically, it seems to the KTMs, because it cost us 19th. We've seen Vinales just slide out. Aldeguer's pushing Enea Bastianini out the way. Obviously, Alex Marquez has already been down on the deck as well. So a very, very chaotic start to this one. So like I said, again, the AI definitely needs some retuning. They are crushing all over the place. And Morbidelli, wow, he was lucky down there. But we're going to just pass him. Bastianini comes from off track, and, well, that's a bit awkward between me and him. My soft tyre on the rear is actually really, really cold there, so that's not ideal. Good job I'm not on a medium, but fair play to Bastianini. Come back up the side of the left-hander. But into the final corner then here of the first lap. We have been beat up quite a bit. Again, we are still on 100% AI. But let's see when the rain starts to come down, how we fare, because typically the AI are very, very good in the wet weather conditions. The last few games and more contact with Enea Bastianini, and I can see there, I think there was a dot spray on the screen, so I think the rain has already started on lap 2. I suppose it's going to come pretty quick. It's only a 9-lapper, so it needs to probably be wet by lap 5, really, for it to kind of be worth anything. And Alex Marquez, who's already crashed, by the way, has now sneaked his way back past me. So, oh, and not Bastianini, Acosta. So actually take it to the green there, because obviously Acosta forced his way through. I don't want to drop off the back like I did in Moto2. I want to try and fight my way back through, although obviously Acosta will be a top flight AI, so it'll be tricky to get past him on this Honda. Oh, wow, okay, that was aggressive. Pedro just forces his way past Alex Marquez, and why do I feel like I'm going to get the receiving end of that one? I thought Alex was just going to bash into me into that penultimate turn, and he dives me into the last corner. I crashed at the last corner, but I don't even see who it was, because I think they actually rejoined ahead of us, so yeah, it really shows how good of a race I'm having at the moment. My fastest lap then a 32.3, fastest up of the race though, Gian Antonio 30.5, another crash to those Jorge Martin, and there's actually a red flag. I want to have a little look at that one, see exactly what happened with that crash, because I mean, there's a few weird ones already in that one. See Aldeguer basically riding up the back of Alex Marquez. So it looks like Martin's hit the curb here. He's gone down, and then it looks like Gian Antonio's just sort of done the same thing. Binder's just snuck through there. It looks like Chantra. How's Chantra 7th, by the way? But yeah, it looks like Chantra's done the same thing, and it seems to be the same as MotoGP 24, that just 3 riders going down instantly causes a red flag. So yeah, that seems to be what's happened here. So looks like then we are going to have a race restart, so we've got the potential to try and fight our way back towards the front once again. Obviously, I wasn't actually ever right at the front, but I did get shoved right to the back, so hopefully able to come back from that one. I'm not sure exactly what effect this is going to have on the rain. I suspect it'll come down earlier now, but I guess we'll find out. I'll skip the cutscene because we have already watched that one once. So whereabouts am I then? I'm literally 19th place on the grid, so actually I'm still in last place, or not 19th, 17th. I guess the standings took a little bit of time to update there. But you can see the AI got a fantastic start to turn 1, so basically the polar opposite to what was happening in the Moto2 race earlier on. There's a crash there. Zarco hits the deck there, contact with it looked like Bastianini. Actually, no, it's Acosta, so I don't know why I keep getting them mixed up, because I can see there's no Moto logo on the back of there, but I think it's because I'm expecting it to be Bastianini Vinales towards the back, but obviously Acosta had some sort of issue in that opening start and obviously dropped back really, really far. And here's some Chantra dropping back as well, so he had... he partially caused the red flag, so I'm surprised he was allowed to restart. If we've had to take avoiding action off the circuit again, because AI was ramming into me. But we found our way then over to P13. Pedro Acosta actually has a long lap. I don't know when he picked that one up. Maybe it's for Alex Marquez or doing stuff like that. I guess he's absolutely rammed Oliveira out the way by the looks of it. Just we go into Tremonto, closing up on Franco Morbidelli. Obviously, he doesn't take it on this lap then, Pedro, but he's going to have to take it in a couple of laps. See, we have only got 7 laps now as well in this one, and I have got to be careful with the fuel, because I know the fuel does go a little bit funky after a red flag, or it did in MotoGP 24 and 23. And I imagine it's going to still be an issue in this game, so I'm going to have to be careful and keep my eye on that. And Miller's hit the deck. Down goes Jack Miller. So he clipped the curb in front of us. It does seem like AI are very inclined to clip the curbs. And there you can see there is some proper rain coming down now as we go through the last sector on lap 1 here for the restart. And there's a crash in front. Marc Marquez is down, in fact. So Marc Marquez, the race leader's down. And yeah, you can see we've got some proper spray on the screen now. So we've got the run on our fellow Honda rider, Somket Chantra. Can we make the pass into turn 1 up the inside? Gonna try it. No, he's just gonna hang it through there. We're gonna just still try to hang it out. There's a crash there. That's Acosta. What is going on with his bike? Okay. Again, that might be something to report back, but yeah, that was certainly interesting, wasn't it? Really doesn't seem like they lose a lot of time as well, by the way, because Marc Marquez is already back on. Acosta is still in 14th place, and on the map doesn't look too far behind. So it does seem like when the AI crash, they don't lose much time at all. So again, maybe that's something that does need fixing before the final release, but I have no idea what happened with his bike there. Just he had like a Beyblade, and you can see the flag, the white flag has come out now. It is flag to flag. Officially, we can pit, so it'd be interesting to see, because this year I do believe that you have to put the pit limiter on manually, so obviously will affect things quite drastically. Yeah, I can already feel the grip is massively decreased. I think the right thing to do is going to be to dive in on this lap, and we'll see kind of how the order shakes out. I know in the past you typically gain quite a bit of time in the pits on the AI, so we shall see. But yeah, the tyre temp's gone off massively. We're actually going to run off the track completely because I couldn't even make it around that corner with all the rain. It's such heavy rain because obviously it's such a short race. It's absolutely come down so fast. But yeah, it does seem like the AI are just training towards the pits, and I'm going to just try and make my way past all of them. So we hit the brakes then, try not to speed. Where? Oh, and okay, well I sped into the pits, but I got hit by Alex Rins, but also Bezecchi there crashed in the pits. Can I look at the replay? No, I can't. But there we go then. We've got a long lap because, well, I braked for the pit lane line and Alex Rins hit me, and then I couldn't slow down in time to the 60Ks that we needed to. But you can see we have pulled up at the start of the pit lane there. A little bit buggy with the animation with the arms, but again, preview build, so those kind of things should be sorted out for the main release. And here we go, emerging onto the track in wet conditions. Don't know what place we are going to be in. Currently 6th, now up to 5th as we've overtaken somebody else. I think that's probably where we're going to shake out then, is it 5th place? It looks like everybody's come in as well, so it's not like anyone's risk staying out. And we're still in a cutscene here, so really not giving me control until going to be like the last second. I'm not going to be able to even see where I'm going at this rate. Here we go. Okay, it has gone back to third person. You can see indeed. Oh, the AI's almost crashed through the pit lane exit there for me. And here we go on track. The tyres are stone cold, so this is going to be tricky. You're going to have to brake nice and early for this corner ahead. You can see there's already been a crash. Another Beyblade spinner. And oh, we've just managed to avoid Alex Marquez's bike there. And there Bastianini's fought his way back up into third place then because of that. But it looked like, I think it's Alex Rins there, crashed through turn 4. I think it's Rio, isn't it? Turn 4. As we try to go around the outside of Bastianini, but just no grip at all, although we put a good amount of temperature into that left-hand side of the front tyre. Obviously, we have got a long lap to do as well. I honestly think I might leave it on this lap, though, and maybe do it on the next one, because I just want to get some temperature into the tyres, and I don't think going deliberately slower through a long lap is going to particularly help with that one. I feel like the wet weather drops on the screen are probably a bit more pronounced than in the previous entries. especially when those big drops started coming down on like lap 2. Definitely really felt like it. You can see now as well. And oh, okay. Don't know how I've stayed on there. Folded the front of the curb on the outside. So the curb's still seeming a little bit weird. But somehow I managed to get away with it and was somehow still on board as well. I think I might be quiet now. Just, again, let you listen to the sounds. Also, you will hear a bit of the rain in the background. Although I'm not too sure people are too bothered about the rain sound. Yeah, it's going to be more about the bike sounds. And Quartararo has actually hit the deck there out the lead, but he does seem to have retained it. And Bastianini's down. Again, the bikes just seem to spin, and there's another rider down. That's Brad Binder down as well, of course, from second place. So I actually will shut up now, but like I said I was going to, but see a few things happening in the race. So it definitely seems like the AI have got more grip still in the rain than the player, because you saw through Curve Ernie, for example, I served my long lap, came back on. To be fair, I did make a mistake, but the AI behind me just has so much more speed through the corner. I completely blew the corner, and they were absolutely fine. And the AI just crashing constantly, it seems, in these conditions. I've just pushed a VR46 bike out of the way. Morbidelli, I think that was, who'd just gone down in front of us. The Quartararo's crashed about 3 times now. Zarco, the other Frenchman, is now in the lead of the race. Marc Marquez has obviously gone down again as well, so yeah, especially in the wet conditions, they really seem to start losing the front a lot more. Wet conditions perhaps do seem a little bit easier than the previous games. I think there is a bit more just grip overall. Obviously, the Moto2 class was very extreme on that front, but it does seem like across the classes. Although Moto3 actually, I didn't feel like had a massive amount of grip. It didn't feel like I had a lack of grip, but it didn't feel like I had tons or anything. And we've just been passed by Rins, who I've seen crash like twice at least. So really showing you that at the moment I am not to snuff, and especially in the wet conditions. You can see I'm not really building that much heat into the tyres either, which isn't ideal. Fast up of the race, actually, is Marini on a 38.0. And at the moment I'm on course for about a 41 something. So yeah, we are pretty far off, because that's our teammate. Zarco, who was leading briefly, has crashed. We're going to find our way past Zarco and Rins, it seems. So also penultimate lap of the race, actually, I thought I'd done the fastest up then because it went red, but it tricks you a little bit, and we've just completely cooked turn 1 again. And that's another rider down. Another KTM looks like down again. So KTM's particular seems to be struggling, but we completely lost the places to Zarco and Rins that we made up. And we've also been passed out by our teammate Marini as well, although I'm going to watch out through here. Yet more crashes. Gora's gone down. We just passed under a yellow, which still seems to be no penalty, unfortunately. I thought that maybe with the stewards that potentially that could become a thing, but especially at the moment. Well, okay, wow, Marini's absolutely put me on the curb, and you can see once again, we span up pretty massively on the curb. Finally started to build some rear temperature, but the front, not so much. It is a bit of a struggle here to build this front temperature. And I'll tell you what, that's an interesting top 3 there. Bezecchi from Binder from Chantra. So Chantra, he was running out of his depth when the red flag came out, but now it's just another level. That's crazy. So I'm just about running the pace of the guys in front, so they're not dropping me too much. And I feel like through the last corner they are a little bit weak. Obviously they're crashing there quite a lot, so probably suggest they're doing something a little bit wrong. Well, they're clipping the curb on the inside, I think is what they're doing. So towards the line then, what's my time going to be on this? Up 40.1, so much better even with the off-track excursion. So the yellow flag again, although this time I think it is behind. And okay, no, Rins has gone down for another time, and again the bike seemed to slide weirdly across the track, so yeah, a copy I've got the first time it happened. But time to get used to it, but now you can see Chantra's actually in the lead. Chantra's managed to get his way up into the lead of the race. That's ridiculous. This has been a crazy race. I mean, I suppose I forced a weather change, which has definitely played its part in the shenanigans. Oh, and Marini's down, so we've moved our way up into P5. So towards the line then, Suncat Chantra has indeed won this race here at Misano, and we've actually managed to come home in P5. So there were a few issues in that race, of course, but again, like I've said quite a few times, this is a preview build, so you've got to bear that in mind, guys. There's still 2 months almost till the game actually comes out, so these things should be fixed before the main release. AI training is one of the last things that's done, so that would explain why there are some issues with it there. But that pretty much brings this video to a close at a race in each category, with a little bit of wet weather spiced in there for the MotoGP class. Once again, massive thank you to the guys over at Milestone for providing me with the opportunity to bring this content to you guys. And like I said earlier, this is the second of 3 videos that I can make on this preview build. So let me know in the comments below, what do you want to see from this preview build? So we can't show things like the editor. I've been asked that a couple of times. That's just locked off, so we can't access that. Obviously, nothing with the extra training modes, so the mini motos and the ovales and stuff like that. That just isn't in the build that we have, so we can't show that off. Anything else, though, is pretty much A-okay to go, so let me know what you guys want to see in the next one. But if you are new to my channel, please do like the video and subscribe so you can see that next video when it does indeed come out in the very near future. But either way, hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope that I'll see you for the next video.